Hello everybody, thanks for coming back to my channel. I do appreciate you checking this out. And it's going to be a really quick tutorial, basically answer on a long-standing question I've had in regards to a tiny thing within a cell within images when you're uploading, the wonderful preview aspect ratio, what it's for, how some people are able to utilize it, and I somehow couldn't figure out how to do it after 10 years. I finally figured it out, and I did some testing, and I've got some answers, and I'm hoping it's helpful for you as well. Basically, just to get started, I have Photoshop open, and just so you kind of understand my workflow, I do shoot images at around 6K, and then I bring them into Photoshop, I put them into the aspect ratio that I want, and then I upload to SL. And that can vary depending on my need. But basically, I'm going to break it down for you in the fact that SL is only really identifying a size of 1024 pixel by 1024 pixel being the maximum size whenever it's being converted into a texture and image in an upload in Second Life. And just to give you a rough idea, we're going to throw up a box that's 1024 by 1024. And just so you're also aware, just like RAM, any kind of memory doubles, this is doubling as well. It's going to look at those times 2 amounts. So we're going to go down in size 512 by 512. We're going to go down another 256 by 256. These are the standard sizes that it's going to look at whenever you're uploading. Why do I bring that up? Because many times, let me kick it over to SL, I am uploading an image, and because I have these ridiculously large sizes, I get this. I'm guessing many of you who do photos in Second Life are probably getting the same thing, where you get this huge square. It's all squishy, because hell, who shoots in squares anymore? 1024 by 1024 pixels with a preview aspect ratio of 1:1. Now, if you guys know, like I do, that profile images are rectangular, profile pics are rectangular, marketplace images rectangular. I don't think there's too many squares going on in SL. And I am going to provide down in the comments a list of all the different sizes that are in SL. Again, I'm just grabbing that from Wikipedia. I cannot attest to the accuracy of that. Things could have changed since then, but it'll give you a rough idea of how things are. But you also can look at this drop down to get an idea for what the different buckets of sizes and aspect ratios are in SL, because that's what this is for. A lot of people think that this is used possibly to change the preview aspect of an image once it's uploaded into SL and save it. Guess what? Doesn't work that way. It literally is just a preview aspect ratio. It's so that whatever size you create outside of Second Life, whether it's Photoshop or GIMP, once you upload it into Second Life, this is just to be able to guide you on, well, I know that it's a 4:3 for your profile pic. Let me select 4:3 and see what my image is actually going to look like. And that's all this is for. This is has a few of the key sizes for uploads in different places within a cell that you can just gauge what your image is going to look like. And then if it doesn't look good, or if you are not going to nail it, you can go back into GIMP or Photoshop, whatever you use. You can change your aspect ratio there and then re-upload. Yes, it's probably going to come back to a 1:1 ratio unless you do the sizes that I'm getting ready to tell you about. The sizes that I'm getting ready to tell you about aren't very useful because I don't think that most of them exist in any one of those buckets. If you're putting it on a prim and you're doing it for, say, like a photo for your house or something like that, then it, makes a big difference. I sometimes like to use funky sizes, so we're going to talk about those sizes right now. One you may definitely use, depending, is the 2:1. So the 2:1 ratio, or let's just say the biggest size that it will recognize, is 1024 pixel by 512. So 1024 in width by 512 in height. And I left these boxes up just so you can get a gauge. Then you can use that same kind of ratio, just flip-flop it. 1:2. So 5 512 pixel by 1024 pixel. So it's just vertical as opposed to horizontal. Then you've got the 4:1 ratio, or 1024 by 256. So these are sizes that when you upload, Second Life is definitely going to recognize them, and it's going to give you the preview in that ratio, in that aspect ratio, without you having to do anything. Just to prove my point, I'm going to open up first the 1:2. As you can see, bottom left, it'll show 512 by 1024 with a preview aspect ratio of 1:2. So that will open up appropriately. Hasn't resed yet, but it's okay. You know it's there. The 4:1, this is the 4:1, 1024 by 256 as it states right here. Preview aspect ratio 4:1. So as you can see, I'm opening these without having to switch this around at all. And then we're going to do the 2:1, which I said is probably the most likely that you would bring in. But again, it's really not going to meet any of the standards for, say, a profile. But it is 1024 by 512 pixel with a preview aspect ratio of 2:1. So those will always open with the correct ratio showing. Let me just show you again what it looks like to bring in something that doesn't fit into those. It's going to kick it into the closest square size. Since my images are so large, I'm always knocking it down to 1024 by 1024 with the aspect ratio at 1:1. And then I have to go in and just preview to see what something's going to look like based on that. So I'm going to, again, provide you in the comments with information on what aspect ratios are being used for particular areas within Second Life so that you know how you could build those in GIMP or Photoshop. And hopefully, if I can get them linked up, I'll provide you with some templates for Photoshop. They would be PSD files that will help you be able to create those aspect ratio images without really having to think much about it. But I'm hoping that this at least solved maybe the same kind of question you've had that I have had for such a long time. Effectively, you cannot change an image aspect ratio once it's been uploaded into Second Life. That is something that has to be done on the backside every time. So good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.